patting a dog is well known to lower stress hormone cortisol levels. Does that sentence make sense? I think so. You get the idea. And for many victims, appearing in court can be a very stressful experience. Mabel, the golden retriever, is currently the only Ministry of Justice court dog in New Zealand trained to support victims of crime. She's also a finalist in New Zealand's top dog competition, and she lives in Tauranga with her owner, court victim advisor Gail Bryce. Hi there, Gail.
Hi, how are you?
What a lovely story. I'm great. The only Ministry of Justice court dog in New Zealand. How did having a dog in court come about?
Well, just on the only dog, we are hoping to have a second one soon up in Waitakere.
Great.
There's another mobility dog, Holly, who we hope will soon be online. So how did it happen?
Tell me the story.
Well, the short version is that we had some young victims who were coming in to court, and they come and have a look at where they're going to be before the actual trial date. So the young children came in, and you could just tell they weren't going to get through this. It was, it was quite worrying. So I went home, and as I sat on the floor with my dog, stroking him, thought, what are we going to do with these children? And thought, the dog. So I gained all the permissions necessary. The detective went to the children's family and said, do they like dogs? And that was it. That was how it started. But they do have, in America, there's nearly 300 courthouse dogs over 41 states. So
yeah. Now, I say this with love, Gail, but when I think of the New Zealand court system, I think bureaucracy, how tough it must be to get changes and get things done. From you having the idea to bring a dog along to actually doing it, you make it sound quite straightforward.
Well, actually it was. It really was.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you think that would be typical? Do you think that's all it takes for courts around the country to say, let's bring a dog along?
No, well, they do have to be trained to public access level. Like Mabel is a fully trained mobility dog. So she has been trained through the Puppies in Prison program. I don't know if you've heard about that.
No.
But, it's fantastic. You need to Google it. It's where the Mobility Dog Trust put dogs into the prisons, certain prisons, like Spring Hill and Auckland Women's, and the dogs stay in there with carefully selected prisoners. They give the prisoners wheelchairs to work from, and they do part of the training for the mobility dog. So it's amazing that Mabel went through that, and she's now trained by offenders, and she's now in the court supporting victims of crime.
That's a real full circle thing, isn't it?
Love that.
What does a day at work look like for Mabel?
Well, the first thing she does is she comes into our registry office, and as she comes in, the cry goes up, Mabel, and everyone's vying for her attention.
That's generally the case with work dogs in my experience. I know there's been a bit of publicity recently about the downsides, but most people are pretty excited to see a dog wander into the office.
Yeah, they are. Everyone, some of them even have treats on the tables ready for her. And it's all about Mabel. I'm literally chopped liver. I don't think anyone notices I'm here at all.
Yeah.
And then when we have to go, we have another building separate to the court building. If a child's coming to give evidence, I will meet them outside the building with the detective. And their support people. I mean, I have to emphasise that Mabel isn't in place of all the communication assistants, counsellors, social workers. She's in addition to. So children in Tauranga here have a real wraparound care. Anyway, so I'll let the child lead Mabel through security. Now, there's usually about 6 security guards there, so that's daunting for an adult. But the children don't even seem to recognise that they're just going through the scanner and being wanded, because the security guards will wand Mabel as well and ask her if she's got a cell phone on her. Children think it's funny.
Yeah.
And then she will stay with them in, we call it a secure witness room, while they give evidence. And she's available in breaks. So we can go for a walk around the block or just play some games in the room. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a child in a break just rolling on the floor with Mabel.
It works, eh?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
You can see it?
Oh, absolutely. If I could give you an example of something that happened not too long ago. Typically, before a trial goes ahead with a child, the judge and the lawyers or prosecutors will come and meet the child, which they did in this case. It was a police prosecution. Anyway, they went back into the courtroom, the CCTV went live, and the police prosecutor was talking to the child, and the child wouldn't speak. She'd been fine, 5 minutes before.
Yeah, understandable, really.
Wouldn't, and so the prosecutor said, "Is Mabel nibbling your toes?" And the child said, "No, Mabel wouldn't do that." And we were away. So if we can keep a child calmer and enable them to give their best evidence, then job done.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Would you like to see more court dogs in New Zealand then?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I would.
Is that going to be achievable, do you think?
That's above my pay level.
Yeah. But it was achievable at your court?
It was, yes. But when I introduced it, I was fortunate to have a very supportive manager who helped. So
yeah, a bit of vision, eh?
Yes, yeah.
Well, by the by, Mabel is one of the options to vote for at newzealandtopdog.co.nz. Sounds like Mabel doesn't really need the accolades, but that's a nice little thing for her to be nominated for, isn't it?
It is. It's fantastic. And I love that Frog Recruitment are highlighting all these dogs around the country doing this great mahi, like literally throughout the whole country. And we would never know. And it's fantastic to read through the profiles on the Frog Recruitment website of all these dogs.
I got my eye on a Nova Scotian duck-tolling retriever, Nala.
Oh, yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah.
Good stuff. People can take a look for themselves, nztopdog.co.nz. And Gail, thanks for taking some time to tell us about Mabel today.
No, thanks for your interest. No.